Hi everyone, I'm not a nail person. So today I have a special video in that I'm collaborating with some of my friends on YouTube to share my 5 favorite eyeshadow palettes. Wow, they said 5, not 50, they said 5. That's, that's kind of tough for an eyeshadow addict, but okay, so let me get into it. So first off, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I have an upcoming giveaway. I have a giveaway through MAB, Middle Age Beauties, which I will link that information below as well. So you can check out my video. I'll explain the process and the group and what you need to do for that. But in the meantime, I'm collaborating with three other friends on YouTube. I'll try to list their names in alpha order. Ashley with Pugs and Pearls, Jackie Solitary Misfit, and Michelle Malibu. Actually, this was inspired by Michelle Malibu. She originally reached out on Instagram, and I'm so bad with those Instagram direct messages. I thought someone just read the comments before, and I didn't realize they were directing a message to me, but I'm sorry. You know I love doing collabs. So, with that being said, I thought about it all day, and I came up with my 5 favorite palettes. And what I did basically, because I knew I had to narrow it down, it would be really hard, and I said, okay, if I went all minimalist, you know how everybody's doing the minimalist thing, like if I did minimalist makeup, I guess that was my train of thought. What were the 5 palettes I would want to keep? So that's what helped me determine what I will share with you. So I will start with the least to the most. And I picked them for various reasons, either their versatility, or they're just pretty, or they're just me. So let me start with the first one. So the first one is by an indie seller actually, and it's from Strobe Cosmetics. So you can find them online. And aside from the fact that it's really good eyeshadow, it's inspired by one of my favorite TV shows. I watch American Horror Story. I've watched every one of them, the series, since they've started. Love the last one, Hotel, and an eyeshadow palette? Hello! So, actually I'm glad I opened this, because when I opened it I saw that the one shadow was having some issues, so I just put some alcohol in it. But this is what it looks like. There's 5 eyeshadows, and as you can see, they're all shimmery, but very basic shades. So I'll swatch these 4, and you can see I barely touched them, and bam! I mean, look at that pigment. Okay? I'll try to touch this one. Maybe it's still wet. I think it's still a little wet. Okay, but can you see the pigment on these guys? Beautiful eyeshadows. It wasn't crazy expensive. I want to say it was like $25, $30 for it. It's for an indie polish with this great pigmentation. So, love this palette. I love the shades in this palette. They all have names inspired by the TV show. I'm trying to be careful because there's a little bit of flaky over here too. The names on the shadow, the red one was Addiction Demon. That was my broken one. Then it was Room 64, Checking In. I should just open it. So here it's a Demon, Addiction Demon. This one is Royale. Oh, I can't see without my glasses. This is Addiction Demon. I'm going the wrong way. This one is Room 64, Checking in, Royale, and the Countess. So Countess, Royale, Checking in, Room 64, and Addiction Demon. So if you watch the series, you'd know it was inspired by the some of the names and events and characters. So love this palette. Next palette, I'm a big fan of Makeup Geek, and I have so much makeup I never get around to it, but I have a complete large Z palette filled with Makeup Geek that I need to use. But they did come out with, and I think this was their first palette where they actually created a palette and sold their eyeshadow together. And this is the Vegas Lights palette, and it's a great palette in that it's a bunch of nudes. I should have brought something so I could swatch better. But look at these shades. Great pigmentation on Makeup Geek. Again, I'm not going to swatch all of them because I didn't bring something with it, but look at this Sin City. Gorgeous. And this is another great shade, this Casino. Great eyelid shades. And this one was pretty unique. This was a matte. This is called Desert Sands. And it's like that ugly, pretty shade for the crease. So that's just a sampling, but you can see I love warm shadows, and this would be right up my alley. This one's a little bit glittery, but love this one. So that would be in the number 4 slot. Oh, and they actually had a cute little memo in there, and I saved it as well. They just thanked me for my pre-order. So the next palette that I would pick is a recent palette, and it would be the Lorac Pro 3. I love this palette. I tried it out recently, and I am absolutely in love with. It has some great neutral shades, great everyday eye looks, and this is right up my alley. I mean, I'm not going to swatch all of these, but as you can see, there's a lot of neutral everyday shades. I work in an office, so I'm not going to get all decked out every day, but this satisfies a lot of needs for different looks. Can be worn throughout the day, throughout the weekend, and for night looks as well. So, big fan of this palette. I have the other 2 palettes as well, and some other Lorac and Unzipped, whatever, but this one is a really good one, and something that just I thought of right away that this would be absolutely something I would want. So, now we're in the number 2 spot. Now, I don't know why this has been on sale everywhere lately, but this is such a great palette. This is the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette, and these are shades that, yes, they're very neutral, but these are the kind of shades I wear on the daily. I'm very happy with this palette. Would like to use it more. It gives you some great everyday looks, and since it is on sale right now, I would recommend it. If you haven't picked it up, try it. It's a great palette. I like Urban Decay shadows. They're not those glitter bombs. Like, I didn't even bother with the Moondust palette because that's just too much glitter for me. So the Gwen Stefani palette, love it. And then the number 1 for me, because it's always with me every day, believe it or not, is the Naked Basics palette. So another Urban Decay product. And the reason why is because it's just that, it's basic. So when I'm dragging out palettes like this that are all shimmery and beautiful, I always have this palette for brow bone, crease shades, deepen up the crease. So this has been a handy palette, everyday palette for me. Do I use it every day? No, not if I don't need to. There's certain palettes that have mattes in them already. There's mattes in here. I really don't need to pull out this. But when I was using this palette, yes, this was out right next to it. So you can see I have some wear and tear on it. I'm going to hit pan on some of these soon. And I have Naked Basics 2 as well. I just happen to use this one. I don't need that other one when I'm using this one up right now, but it's in the corner for when I do need it. So that would be my number one spot. Naked Basics, the first palette. And then I want to cheat a little. It's cheating in that it's not really a cheat because it's not an eyeshadow palette, but I do use it for eyeshadow, and it's something I default to. Oddly enough, it's this Rimmel, what is this called? Kate Moss contour, blush, and highlight palette. Even though it is just the blush, bronzer, highlighter, I use this on my entire face. So I'm going to be using this on the crease and on my eye. I'll be using this on my eye, all of these shades on my eye, and all of this on my face. So to me, this is like an all-in-one look. So even though it's not an eyeshadow palette, it's something that popped into my head too, that I default to this if I have nothing else hanging around and I just want a quick look. This is what I'm going to default to, so I would use this on my eyes as well, and it's built in everything. So I cheated a little. So again, thanks Michelle Malibu for the invite to do this collab with Ashley with Pugs and Pearls, and Jackie, Solitary Misfit, and Michelle Malibu. Thank you. Please subscribe to these ladies. I will leave their link below. And my link as well. Please subscribe. And my MAB video as well. So if you have any questions, as always, let me know. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.